Oh shit! I had the button muted. So yeah, I'm gonna get it back. I heard you.
What's going on with you? Yes, sir. Yeah, we got 30 minutes to go. Get him talking in the crib. Let's get it.
Right. Okay.
That Chris got paying up number 2. What's going on with you? See, man. What's good, man? See you in the crib. Nigga made it said I need to pick his number because I'm trying to get my jersey. I think it's gonna be. You know, Marquise Bell got 14. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get that one. Buddy Clutch in the crib. What's going on with you? Lisa Worley. We know you stay up late. What's going on with you? Yeah, Clay in the crib. He's out about the Cowboys. A little bit nicer. Michael got paid today on his birthday. Yeah, it would have been, huh? We get it. I think it would have been a training camp. For sure. We know when they're going to let us out training camp. That'd be crazy. Lucky Football, what's up with you? Yes, sir. DC4 yes, sir. The real Darryl, what's going on? Yeah, he said that Jimmy doing shows at the Las Vegas Strip. Yes, sir. I have no sense of time sometimes, believe me. Michael Spin, what's good, family? Good to see you. Birdy, all in the crib. Good to see you. Richard Owens, what up? Yeah, Chan Clay, just talking about the Chiefs for the little linebacker. Hey, let me tell you something. He got some encouraging words about linebacker night. He got some encouraging words. They're one of the best looking groups in the camp. I don't think we're going to need linebackers. I don't. Nick and White, what's going on? Late night. Good to see you. All right. Get this thing going. All right, so let's get into our first topic for the night. Get into our first topic. Let's get it. Let's get into our first topic for the night. So tonight we're going to listen to Nick Harris. I thought Nick Harris had a lot of good things to say about the Dallas Cowboys OTA. Oh yeah, you know what? That's another. I'm basically but yeah, had some very interesting things to say. It looks like it's the next question. It's 42 hours ago, and I listened to it. Different stuff. Nick Harris had quite a few things to say about the Dallas Cowboys OTAs. And so some of the things that Daniel Williams talked about, and who else was it talking about the defensive tackle position? Well, Nick Harris has some things to say about OTAs and some of these players, and so I think that we may be encouraged by some of these things. So check out Nick Harris today, and we'll be going in and out and kind of reacting to some of the things that he's saying, and I'll be reading the comments. I'll be paying attention to the chat. Damn it. Now, look like he has some very, he has some nuggets in it. And so, this is Nick Harris on 105.1 and giving some insight on the Dallas Cowboys.
Unfortunate. A good strip, and then you just run the ball. You score.
No, Nick, joins the program. Nick, how are you?
Doing fantastic. Always further.
Pound and ground. Ground and pound.
I really like Nick Harris a lot. Me too. Nick, first question. I see you signed on the paper form this morning. Should I go ahead and recommend you for this, or is this quality stuff? Okay, well, what it was the 4-4. That's the point. It was free Planet Fitness for the summer because he was speaking, so he gets to go work out. Are you can I get on your hair? No, I'm
I feel like that maybe feel as enthusiastic about it as I think other people do about football.
Yeah, it's actually fun to be at, especially because I believe it was about a month ago when he was at
cancer fund in downtown Dallas. If you had to play a game right now, it's good. So it's like, okay, but you're not 100% cleared, so what does that exactly mean? You know, the man be cleared for contact in time for training camp, and everyone believes he will be. You know, whether he's cleared for contact right now or not, unless he's trying to play U.S. If they're running, I don't think that's going to be a big factor.
Well, that's Ramsey. Okay.
You can tell that there are other people who are actually fascinated by what's going on with Dak Prescott. And let me tell you something about Dak Prescott that enough people are not talking about. And I think people aren't talking about it is because people aren't asking them the questions about Dak Prescott. Because let me tell you something about people, especially some of this Dallas media. I don't quite understand some of this Dallas media because there have actually been people on 105.3 The Fan that have actually went as far to say they wish that Prescott would give them. There was one 105.3 The Fan saying this dumb stuff so that Cooper Rush could play. I mean, it's like, and what I mean by what I'm saying is, it's like some of the Dallas media. It's like they want Dak Prescott to be hurt. It's like they don't want him to play. The little thing you have about 105.3, they was a very point section that there's no way Dak Prescott will be back in time for OTAs, training camp, because that injury is a 9-month injury. And I was like, when they were saying it, I was like, where are they getting this stuff from? It's a very common injury amongst hockey players. They have the surgery, and they're right back to playing. It's not that long of a opinion, I guess I understand, but in the scheme of things, it's not that kind of injury to where it takes a 1 year to be off, recovery. I mean, Tyron Smith had it in the Cowboys training camp, and had to play for some team. Came back and played in the same season. And
Let that fat motherfucker catch me.
He played the following season. There was no more talk about it. And so, but it's strange to me. Because
that's a user right there.
they're not asking
Lurker.
How does Dak look? They're not asking how he looks. They're saying stuff like, you know,
yeah, he lost a desire, huh? That's a shocker. Jimmy had already said it's well, you be you and Birdy in the championship. He jinked you ass. He jinked you.
How's he look? What his throws look like? You know, what's the convention look like? Blah blah blah.
Oh my god, yo! I said, how the hell did you let that happen? No.
Almost like they were wishing that Dak Prescott would have stayed hurt. All this media don't make sense to me.
You was in the game.
It doesn't make sense to me. And it's even strange. Think about this. It's even strange that people were talking about Joe Milton. I'm going to show you something that talks about Joe Milton. And it's strange to me. People want to point out Joe Milton. Dallas is the only place I know that people talk about the backup quarterback. It's the only team I know of. What other team is talking about the backup quarterback? Joe Milton was with the New England Patriots. People can say they were. No one was talking about Joe Milton. Nobody was talking about Joe Milton. At least around there, they have been talking about him. I'm not talking about him on a national level. And I want to talk about this is another reason for the Cowboys.
That's cool. That's cool.
Unless he knows something we don't know. Joe Milton will not see the field for the Dallas Cowboys unless Dak Prescott gets hurt. He will not see the field.
Hell no, he ain't gonna see the field.
And I promise y'all, Joe Milton will not outplay Dak Prescott. Joe Milton didn't even look better than Dak Prescott looked in college. So why would anybody expect Joe Milton, because he's in the pro, when Dak's in the pro, he would look better than Dak in the pro? People do not understand how good Dak Prescott was in college. People do not understand how good this kid was. They do not understand. He does not get enough credit. And people don't give Dak Prescott enough credit for how good he's been in this league.
Nobody want to talk about how good he was doing this.
Earlier. You know, people who talk about Dak Prescott says he has no excuses. But it's strange to me, them same people. Let me show you how they double talk. They say, now he has no excuses. Hold on a second. He said he had no excuses before.
Oh, shit.
He already said he had no excuses.
Has to be more careful with that.
But now he's got
Where is this nigga
at? No excuses. Which one is it? Does he have no excuses
Where's
now?
this nigga
or did he not
at?
have any excuses before? Which one is it? Because you said he had weapons before and there was no excuses. So now you're saying, no, there's no excuses now. Even with, see, a lot of people are still in this mode of wanting to blame Dak Prescott, wanting to pound Dak Prescott. But at the end of the day, a quarterback does not win championships. Quarterback, skill positions, they score points. The trenches in championships. Not just oh shit! He just does win championships.
Get the fuck out of here.
Trenches will almost guarantee you the championship.
Okay.
If you can control both lines of scrimmage, defensively and offensively, you don't even need a quarterback of Dak Prescott's caliber. If you can control both lines of scrimmage.
What is going on right now?
You don't even need a quarterback.
Yeah, I knew something was odd about that right there.
You control both lines of
Should have
scrimmage.
came out that defense.
Go back and look at this past Super Bowl. Trenches won the championship with the Philadelphia Eagles. And don't let it fool you that Saquon Barkley didn't get a lot of yards because he had a lot of carries. Chiefs again gave themselves time.
Yes, sir. To stop him.
Yep. They chose the poison. They said, we'll stop Saquon Barkley. The problem is, they couldn't stop Jalen Birdy from running the ball. And because they
Damn it.
it only took so many points for Jalen Birdy. The defensive line was so good, they gave him a short field all day long. They scored on a defensive touchdown. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles, the way they constructed, if anybody should understand this, just like in the defense. They don't even have Jalen Hurts in the time. Pro Football Focus has him at number 5. Some people would argue he's not even there. But when you have the kind of team that he had, you don't even need a high caliber quarterback. So imagine that once the Cowboys finally get the pieces around Dak Prescott, and Dak Prescott is what you call way better than average, way better than adequate. Dak Prescott is a very prolific quarterback. When the Cowboys get this team right, they'll be the worst. Dak Prescott is going to absolutely dominate, and the Cowboys are going to win that chip. Now, again, I do think Jordan is going to be a lot to ask. Brand new coach, brand new super staff, whole bunch of moves.
Fourth down.
I mean, there are so many things the Cowboys really have to fill out. We gotta, and again, we're gonna see what's going to happen at the post.
Actually, you could go for that according to the new rule.
First, that I think they may maybe
just thought I'd try it. Thought I'd try it.
Having only the first-year head coach to win a Super Bowl. I mean, this may be what they're going for. We're going to see.
I don't know why I do that. I know I ain't gonna freeze them.
We'll see what happens.
Man, your stadium.
Again, it's funny to me that no one's talking about that.
I ain't missed it anyway.
Other than they're just blown away that he's healthy already. They're blown away that he's been cleared for everything but contact. But that's kind of a moot point anyway at this time of the year. And it's really a moot point at training camp. the quarterback is never engaged in physical activity during OTA, and you better not hit him during training camp. He's not going to play in the preseason. And I would be surprised though the Cowboys.
Hold on to that, bro. God damn.
I would not be surprised if they do that. If not the first game, the second game, because Dak Prescott has played since the but for the most part, Dak Prescott will see every contact anyway. Like most quarterbacks, anyway, he'll be fine as far as that goes. But that's the only thing they want to do.
Hold on to that. Let's go.
How is he looking? How's the throws look? What's the connection look like? Now, I've been looking at other places and people talking about Dak's looking really, really good. But here, this is not what people are talking about on the game scale. The only surprise to them is Dak Prescott is clear. This is what's really nice and negative than that. Well, it's been clear, but not the contact. And Nick Harris said, well, this Dak is about to play in the USFL Championship. Contact don't matter anyway. All the way up until the first one. Doesn't make sense. But I'm sorry about my rant on that, but I don't understand that people will report how Joe Milton looked. He's not even going to start unless Dak gets hurt. And this is OTA. I find to be strange they're not talking about it. That's right. I bet you there is. But these people don't fool. They know Joe Milton is a story. Even our own local media, they know Joe Milton is a story. And so even they try to get involved in that because it just gets people ears to. So the Dak Prescott haters can come out. It just doesn't make sense to me. Only in Dallas. Only in Dallas. Oh, he's concerned about that's the backup quarterback. Man, I'm sorry. I'm concerned, but I'm
let that clock run. What are you doing?
As long as we got an adequate backup, and at this point in time, I'm just keeping a buck.
What's that motherfucker run?
I'm glad we got Will. I'm glad we have Will. We don't know what the heck, other than the tricks with Joe Milton III. I don't know what the heck he did.
Good thing.
This season,
Good thing.
he's a 6-year college quarterback. He only started 1 year, and he continues to live up to his draft profile. His ups are high and his lows are low. Makes splashing plays, can't string them together. And I'm putting no stock in that doggone Buffalo Bills game that everybody's talking about that the Buffalo Bills basically took as a bye week. Come on, man. People got to do better than this. They have to do better than this. Josh Allen played one play. Mitch Trubisky was the quarterback, but you think the team is stealing when they know that Mitch Trubisky is the quarterback. They took 8 starters off the defense. Come on, man. People got to do better. They have to do better. And again, these guys right here, their question is about that, quote unquote, out there, as hell. But their question is, where's the follow-up? How does he look? What's the scrolls look like? Blah, blah, blah. None of that. This doesn't make sense.
Hey, the other day brought this up, and I know Christy Scales says this every year at training camp, but brought us was saying, hey, OTAs, keep an eye on what guys are going in here at what times, where they are in the rotation. And it seems like Saturday yesterday was like, you don't go get anything. We're putting guys at one and all over the place and rotated in and out. Anything you noticed regarding who's going where, or is that a real thing from Kevin?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I had kind of gathered too. There was things going to throw all these noodles at the wall and we'll see what sticks. And I believe that was intentional on the fact of, hey, this is the first week of OTAs, we're going to be doing that anyway. I think it wasn't necessarily like, hey, the media is going to throw everything at the wall so if they're not reading into anything. I truly believe, when Brian Schottenheimer talks about competition, he's truly giving all these different guys a shot here. And one of the that we get with OTAs and getting everybody, a ample amount of reps.
And somebody was over there.
George Pickens and CD
People
Lamb
over there.
quite a bit of time yesterday. Pickens only got a couple of targets, but he was still on the field quite a bit. Or this guy like Jalen Crawford, who had like 4 or 5 receptions, but not
man, Bama boy in the crib. What's up with you, Bama boy? Appreciate you. So you go support the team. Yeah, appreciate you. What's going on?
My account yesterday as well. There's a lot of different options that are being tried. I think a couple of positions that stood out to me were the slot corner spot. I mean, obviously that's going to take a lot of importance going into the season with the help of Trayvon Diggs and Savon Level. What exactly is that room going to look like when Week 1 comes around and it's to play at Philadelphia? We saw Deron Bland, Israel.
Well, you had to throw that on this sack, on script sack for it.
As well in that moment. So it looks like there's a lot of different options at that specific position. But if you're looking at me for a red flag, that's one that kind of stands out to me. Like, okay, what exactly is going on here? And then at the running back spot, that was what I went into yesterday. It's like, all right, who's going to be going with the ones and the twos? And I really couldn't gather anything out of that. I mean, when the second team stepped onto the field for the first time, it was few flags and snaps, and there was a plethora of guys who took snaps with them yesterday. So I believe it's very nervous figuring out these position battles, but it is fascinating to see who's on the field with those.
Oh, you playing some man, huh? Playing man.
Yeah, the battles of beginning. I think Brian brought us playing 9 games.
Yeah, what this is.
Don't you think for a second it doesn't matter to these players? But I'm not Brian Bros. Brian started out playing 9 games. Know what he's doing.
What?
This is going to
This nigga fumble? Oh, shit.
Chad Clay in the crib. What's going on?
What the fuck just happened?
Now, come on.
Oh.
Chad Clay, bro, I love you, man, but you can't even say something like this. Chad Clay, I got to challenge this comment. Like I just know. I got no more time.
What the fuck y'all want me to go for it for?
You said, I'm sure if Mahomes was on the Cowboys, we would have won 3. With what squad? Get me out, Chad Clay. With what squad? With what squad the Cowboys have had? And what coaching staff the Cowboys have had?
Settle for that.
That Patrick Mahomes would have won 3. Chad, can I show you what you're saying? I know it's not true. Because if Patrick Mahomes would have won 3 with the Cowboys, then he would have won 3 with the Kansas City Chiefs. You do realize that, right? You do realize, Chad, that the Kansas City Chiefs, their team has not only been better than ours in years past, but do you know that we haven't had one head coach that can hold a candle to Andy Reid? We haven't had one offense coordinator that can hold a candle to Andy Reid and his play calling genius. You do realize that we haven't had one defensive coordinator that is anywhere near as good as the Kansas City Chiefs defensive coordinator, who was actually on both of the a defensive coordinator on both of the teams that actually beat the GOAT Tom Brady. Chad Clay, you cannot be forgetting the defense. If Patrick Mahomes is going to win 3 Super Bowls, he's going to win 3 Super Bowls with the Kansas City Chiefs, which he did not do. So what would make you think, with what we've had, the head coaches that we had, come on, man, Jason Garrett, do we not realize that Jason Garrett is out of football now? If Jason Garrett was a Super Bowl winning coach, do we not think he would still be coaching? Do we not think that some people would have picked up Jason Garrett by now? That Jason Garrett would be a head coach, Jason Garrett would be a top OC in line for another head coach position. We've also had Mike McCarthy. So, does anybody find it strange that Mike McCarthy couldn't get a job after the Dallas Cowboys? I don't. Because he couldn't get a job before the Dallas Cowboys. Because when the Green Bay Packers ran his butt out of town, the same problems he had with the Cowboys, he had the same problems with the Green Bay Packers. Hey, Clay, come on. This statement right here, bro.
Woo-hoo.
Come on.
Damn, he got through that hole. I don't know how.
That would lead anybody to believe that Patrick Mahomes could have won with the Cowboys. What did we have? Even in 2019, we brought on the ball. But we not realize the CeeDee Lamb now is not the CeeDee Lamb he was in.
Oh, shit.
most recent press conference said that Amari Cooper knew his game exponentially. Yeah, he wasn't where he is now. He wasn't the route runner he is now. He wasn't the ball player he is now. Yeah, come on. What team has actually been better than the Kansas City Chiefs this year than the Philadelphia Eagles? We ain't been close. Come on, man, we ain't been close to the Kansas City Chiefs, squad-wise. Now, I can show you why I know you don't. You can't be saying what you're saying because do you know the only quarterback that's been close to Patrick Mahomes statistically, win percentage, offensive points, offensive yardage, the only quarterback
Why they won't close the fucking line?
Is that Prescott?
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, go check the facts. Before 2024, he's the only quarterback that was close to Patrick Mahomes. The problem with the Cowboys and what we have to fix, and it's exactly what they're trying to fix. We have to get out of this mentality of that or bust. We have to get out of that mentality because that's the
Yeah, I was trying to get back to my user and I didn't know where the motherfucker was at. And just so happens the man that you threw to.
In 2020. If you know they got beat by Kansas City by the slightest margin, go back and look at the game that Jalen Hurts had. Jalen Hurts was a juggernaut. He was unstoppable through the air, had 300 plus yards passing. They couldn't stop him on the ground. He was an absolute juggernaut. But guess why they didn't win? Because he was a juggernaut, not the team. Here we go. Not the team. You're not winning championships every time a team score 30 plus points on. You don't win championships like that. The Philadelphia Eagles were not controlling that game. When you're in a shootout, you're not controlling the game. The Philadelphia Eagles understood something about Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is not built to do those kinds of games every year, 6 times a year. You're not getting those type of games 5 or 6 times a year. You're getting those kind of games from Jalen Hurts 3 or 4 times a year. Because the rest of those games, he's going to hover around 200 yards passing, maybe even below, somewhere between 70 to 100 yards rushing. And if you really want to get him over the hump, you know what they had to do? Not a running game. They got him a superior running game. Saquon Barkley had the most big plays of all running backs for sure. Of all the running backs for sure. Saquon Barkley was the most explosive on offense last year. If I'm not mistaken, that's why he got Offensive Player of the Year in 2024. If there's anybody that you got MVP of the league, I do believe.
Put that shoulder down. Let's go.
Got it. So we can stop it from being a quarterback-only award. But again, check it. Come on. If Patrick Mahomes could win 3 Super Bowls with the boys, then he ought to be 6-0 at Super Bowls right now. Because he's been in
It's all right. It's all right.
There's no way. There's no quarterback that would have won 3 Super Bowls with. I mean, we've been screaming for the last 2 to 3 years. We need a number 2. Man, if you think about who our running backs been, Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott in reality over the last 3 years. Over the field, Tony Pollard coming into his own, broke leg, came back. Only receiver we had this season.
They bristle. They bristle.
I don't care what you say about Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn, if you give him a top 10 defense, Dan Quinn can get you to a championship. And we never gave Dan Quinn a top 10 defense. Man, we were playing without linebackers in 2023 and thinking we were going to the Super Bowl because we were 12-5. We don't realize that Dak Prescott was so impressive that he was masking. He was masking a lot of our deficiencies in the regular season. The problem is when you get to the playoffs, your deficiencies get unmasked. And what has been unmasked about the Cowboys, for the most part, is it's
2 points will win a game.
Man, you can make that statement. I can't stop you, but that's not an accurate statement. If Patrick Mahomes was going to win 3 Super Bowls with any team, it would have been with Kansas City. They beat him. They put together a team, and that team destroyed him. Kansas City Chiefs proved that a quarterback can't do it by himself. The Philadelphia Eagles destroyed the Kansas City Chiefs. They destroyed him. They didn't just destroy Patrick Mahomes. They destroyed the Kansas City Chiefs. Why? They had a better team. They nullified the best quarterback in the league. They proved that you don't have to have the best quarterback in the league to win Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts ain't close. He's not close to Patrick Mahomes. But his team better than the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. But there's somebody, man, we can't do stuff like that. It's not right. But until we get out of that mentality, and I hope the Dallas Cowboys get out of that mentality. Until the team, and I think Brian Schottenheimer is trying his best to get them out of that mentality. Got to get them out of the mentality and got to quiet the nonsense.
I was sitting over there waiting for you to come to me.
As far as that takes us. Be good. Responsibility. Never heard Bill Belichick say. I never heard Bill Belichick say, we only go as far as Tom takes us. What? No, we don't go as far as Tom takes. We go as far as the team goes. Andy Reid, you never heard him say stuff like that. Andy Reid has actually even been saying, it is time we take more off of Patrick Mahomes' play. Why? Because you can't continue, you can't be consistent putting everything on the quarterback. This is why I look at Buffalo. Buffalo is trying to take things off Josh Allen's plate. They're getting in more. They're trying to stack his defense. They're trying to get him more weapons. They're getting him in run game. It's the same thing with
Yo, why you run all?
They're doing the same thing in Baltimore. They're trying to put more players. Everybody's trying to put more players around the quarterback because everybody. And this is not really the Philadelphia model. This is actually the 90s Cowboys model.
Let me get him.
The Cowboys, Troy was a turnover machine. Go check the stats. He was a turnover machine. He was throwing double-digit turnovers. They were trying to thinking he was Dan Fouts or somebody. No, they got him a run game. They got him a defense. They didn't just get him any defense. They got him the number 1 defense in football in 1992, 1993 top 5 defense. That's what they did. They went and got him a number 1 offensive line. They went and got him a top-tier running back. They went and got Alvin Harper as a second wide receiver. The Cowboys in the 90s, they put everything around Troy Aikman so he could win. Because if you go and look at Troy Aikman, if you look at it before they got those players, and you go look at it after those players were gone in 95, 96,
I just wanted to get you off the field.
Troy Aikman on a 5-year window.
They won't let me do it. They won't let me be great.
That Troy Aikman was terrible. Terrible. Not because he's terrible with the team. Everybody because this mentality. Only in Dallas we say this stuff. Only in Dallas we say. And we say this stuff, and it's why we're always such a disappointment. We got to stop this stuff. And I do believe that this stuff is also. And
the desire get better, or you just had a bad game?
No responsibility of that person. It just doesn't make sense.
You know, I asked you a question. I said, did you get better, or did you just have a bad game?
One, Thomas, I know obviously question of issue we ran into last year.
Yeah. So he capitalized the turnovers.
Donovan Wilson. There were a couple of games last year where he was sold midway through, and Juan Thomas is the one who came in. It was not Marquise Bell. Which if you would have had hey, one of these days he's not going to play well this year. There's going to be another guy rotating in. I would have guessed Marquise Bell. He's based off the starting experience he had games after 2033. But there's a lot of confidence in the locker room.
Well, damn.
They would send the most successful people.
He put that shoulder down, though.
Get him more developed and ready.
Yeah, Yeah, what I was talking about.
He put that shoulder down and ain't truck nobody.
Yeah, he got 3, but I was talking about the 3 in a row that he actually the 3 in a row he was going for these good that he actually did. But again, if you're talking about he would have won 3 in Dallas, then
Did I hit the fucking turbo?
he actually
I think I did.
last 6 Super Bowls.
I hit the turbo.
No, Dallas.
Trying not to. I gotta remember not to do that.
We have not had teams, and it's crazy. And I'll show it to you tonight if I get time, Chad. I'm gonna show you something that I know what I'm talking about, and we're not being honest with ourselves.
Damn it!
It's insane to me that the Dallas Cowboys 2025 team right now is better than the 2020. Yeah, it's better than the 2023 team right now. Right now, that team is better. I would even dare say this team right now better than any other team that Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn did. I am telling you right now.
Damn, I had that shit going the other way. I should have left it there.
Even as much as we're talking about, yeah, we need a one tech, we need another cornerback, we need another cornerback. Sometimes we even mention linebacker. Let me tell you something. If Dan Quinn was the defense coordinator right now, with the defense the Cowboys have, I think it's all of this together. Dan Quinn would be salivating over this defense we have right now. And we don't even think it's good enough. We don't even think the defense we have right now is good enough. We're screaming one thing. I guarantee you Dan Quinn would be like, I ain't too worried about this check on this defense. I bet you Dan Quinn would find a way to stop this. Because see, Dan Quinn wouldn't be so worried about stopping running backs per se at the line of scrimmage as much as he would be concerned about just moving the linebackers that I need. Because the one thing that we're underestimating about the whole run game, we're talking about if we don't do defense with a 110 tackle, we're not going to be able to stop the run. I understand what we're saying. I'm all for us going out and get these Cowboys to be a good deal. Cowboys don't get a 110. Can we not realize how much Cowboys are better on defense and in particular at the linebacker position? That has been this team's weakness for what, 3-4 years? Our best linebacker was Vanderich. What, over the last 3 seasons? Until he got the neck injury? Dan Quinn would be solid a baby over what the Cowboys have right now.
It ain't over.
You have a 2025 team that's better than any team that Dak Prescott has been on for the last 3-4 seasons. And we're still saying that team is not enough. But if you go back and compare those rosters, the
I am. Actually, I am.
We don't even have to look at 24.
Actually, I am.
If we look at the last 25 roster, we're circles around that one. And we're still saying it's not good. So what's that tell us? What does that tell us?
Beautiful pass. That was a beautiful pass right there, brother. Yeah.
A lot of our deficiencies.
Yeah, you're right. You should have.
Problem is, you can't. It's hard to cover up deficiencies in the middle. It's hard to cover them up. When you get into the playoffs, they get stuff.
You can't feel honey. Rated X. Rated XXX.
So when you get to the playoffs, you always go.
Y'all know to go in the cover 3. I'm looking for you to go in that cover 3, boy. I tell you.
You really can't make the changes.
Okay, count for you, little honey.
They have not been as good as we thought they were. But Dak Prescott has been better than we've been giving him. He's been better than most people give him credit for. Dak has been taking a sleep thing.
Yo, he based around. Like, he based around, yo. I see it. I see what he's doing.
It's not projected. Subpar team. A team that's consistent with the ball, the team that only has one body. The past three seasons, Dak Prescott has beat 12 wins. And to kill this dude, we blame the deficiencies of the team on him. Doesn't make sense.
Let's go.
But again, we're gonna see what happens this year. Cowboys.
Let's go.
Hey, you know what? We're gonna be great. We'll be competitive. Cowboys gonna win the game. But again, there's also a mistake here. If I'm not mistaken, Cowboys drafted Alvin Harper in 1991. That's true. Let those Dallas Cowboys fans down, because if you let us tell it, Jimmy Johnson came to Cleveland and won the Super Bowl in his first season as a coach. No, we didn't.
Yeah, I knew I shouldn't have threw that. I wasn't going to throw that.
1991.
I got a cover 3 beater in my audibles, and I ain't even audible to it.
See. So Alvin Harper came to the Dallas Cowboys in 1991. They didn't win the Super Bowl until 1992. See, we got George Pickens and everybody saying we're going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, why you ain't push that shit?
Gotta let this thing cook. Gotta let it cook, gang.
I was hoping you pitched
It's
it.
something else. You have to let it cook.
You don't burn me with that play too many times. I know that
A
play.
lot of people saying, yeah, man, we going to the Super Bowl. We got this, that, and the other. Hold on. Let me help.
Oh, yeah.
Emmitt Smith was drafted for the Dallas Cowboys in 1990. Alvin Harper in 1991. We're saying that the Cowboys got George Pickens, so Dak Prescott has no excuse. Because George Pickens is the if Dak don't win the Super Bowl with George Pickens, even though Troy Aikman didn't win the Super Bowl when Emmitt Smith got there in 1990. Troy Aikman and the Cowboys didn't win the Super Bowl in 1991 when he had Alvin Harper and Emmitt Smith. But you know, that still took some tweaking. That's why I keep saying the Cowboys got to do a little bit.
I'm just practicing using everybody's playbook. It's just that's what we're doing.
That's not conjecture, because I'm just telling us. A lot of people, see, I was alive. I don't know if some of us were alive during the 90s. I don't know if some of us were really paying attention to the Cowboys. But I can remember this stuff. And I'm telling us, it's not the way we paint that picture. It's not the way we paint that picture.
Here we go.
And if you think about Charles Hayden. See, Charles Hayden comes to the Cowboys in 1990. Charles Hayden was the piece that got us over the top, because the team was already good. And then Charles Haley came in 1992, and Charles Haley started raising all kinds of hell. And I'm not talking about on the team. I'm talking about on the opposing offense. Charles Haley was the piece that really took this team to a whole other level, because trenches win championships. The Dallas Cowboys, people don't understand. There's only been one quarterback in the last few years that has won the Super Bowl without a top 5 or a top 10 defense, and his name is Patrick Mahomes. He's the only one that is still in either. When you go back and look at every other quarterback, they've always had top 5 defenses, including Detroit.
Yeah.
Top 5 defenses. Go back and look at James Kirk. They were number 1 against the run overall.
GG.
We're going to go back, and people are already, I told y'all this 2 weeks ago, and people are already doing this. There are people who are going back, and they're saying, this 2024 Philadelphia Eagles team, people are going to look back on that team, and they're going to say it's probably one of the best in history. You know they're already doing it? I told you they were going to do it. I'm not a prophet. But when you look at their roster and what they were able to do with that roster, it was really, really good. And that's why even when you look back at the 92 Cowboys, that roster was incredible. We're asking Dak Prescott to do something that we never asked Troy Aikman to do. We got Troy Aikman, a running back, in 1990. Didn't win the Super Bowl. Didn't win the Super Bowl in 1991. We went and got a Melvin Harper in 1991. Didn't win the Super Bowl. We went and got not an offensive player. We went and got Charles Haley. We went and got Charles Haley in 1992. And I'm telling you, when Charles Haley hit the Dallas Cowboys, everything changed. I even heard Troy Aikman say it out of his own mouth. Troy Aikman said we were a year early. He said we didn't expect to go to the Super Bowl in 92. Troy said this. We were a year early when we wound up breaking through. It is insane to me when I think about what we're saying about Dak Prescott, because he got George Pickens. This is insane. Jimmy Johnson came to the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken, in 89?